Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to adapt the angel tutorial that I have and turn our little angel into a bride. Instead of an angel, we have a little standing bride. She's got her little bouquet of flowers and her veil, and she's going to be very easy to make. So we're going to get started by making, let me show you, these little frills around the bottom of her skirt. We're going to do the bits that need to be added on first. So we'll do the skirt and we'll make the arms and the veil, and we'll get started. It's all going to be on a single loom, and we'll have it in just a standard configuration to do the arms, the frills. You're probably going to be very familiar with doing these. I've already done 8, but I'm going to show you how to do 1, and then you'll pause my video and continue doing your 8. Take 2 bands. Your loom is in the standard configuration. Place 2 bands, and you're wanting to have room. I'm doing it at the bottom of my loom, but it really doesn't matter. You can start at the top as well, it doesn't matter. So place 2 bands and another 2. I'm using the glitter white. And another 2. So you've got 3 pair down the 3rd column, and then in the 2nd column you're going to put 1 pair in the middle of those 2 like that. Then let's put our end cap on the bottom here. Dig down, find that bottom 2 pair of bands and link them across, loop them across up to this side. Then loop these up and loop these up. Push this down because you need to take this off the loom and replace it here. Okay, and you need room to do that. Then dig down and grab the 2 bottom and loop up. Remember, this is how we did the leaves for my little Christmas tree. And there you have, that's going to be a little frill on the bottom of her dress. Okay, we need 8 of these. So pause the video and make yours, and then get back to me, and we will start with our dress. As I mentioned, we're going to take our loom apart. So if you need your Rainbow Loom hook, it has the base removal tool on the bottom here. What we're going to do, I like to just put my fingers here and pop that middle column out, and then I push the base plate through. Okay, so once you're back with me, what we're going to do with our 8 little fins is we're going to use 4 pegs here and 4 pegs here. If you have a monster tail, you can just do it on your monster tail. Okay, taking the first 2 loops, you're going to place it on the first peg. Okay, and then you're going to place the second pair of loops on the corresponding one. It's like we're, placing our first set of bands, really. Okay, except they've got the little frill on the bottom. I'm not doing a loop on it, I'm just leaving it like this. So that's 1, 2, 3 we need to do. 1 across from here to here now. I'm sorry, it's going to be a bit difficult for you to see because I'm using white and my background is white. It does not matter if you do twist the bands. I don't think it's going to matter at all. In fact, it's probably a good idea if you can. I don't think that one's twisted. It'll probably look nicer if it is. That one is. I think it'll make the bottom of the dress look nicer if you've got that twist, like when we do the normal stand-up dress that we put that first twist in. That one has got a twist in, I'm pretty sure. Yes, that one did have a twist in it. So add a little twist when you're placing it if you can. If you can't, don't fret too much. And the way to check that is as you're placing it, stretch it out, and if you can see that there's a twist in it, you're good, and if there's not, just twist it. And then our final one is going to go from here to here. Like that. Okay, push these down. Now then, we're going to need, I'm going to use metallic white. I don't see there's a huge difference between anything else, but that's fine. And we're taking single bands and we're going to place these across the pegs as our second row or layer. Now I think this will be a little bit harder to do on the moat detail because the pegs are so short. Then our third layer, and you just, this is the worst one because you've got to get the double bands of the frill incorporated into this. Once they're gone, it's a lot easier because you're just dealing with single bands. So I've laid my bands for this. Now I'm going to keep my finger on as I loop things up. Face the loom so that the open part of the peg is facing towards you, and that gives you the option of being able to use this channel of the peg to move your hook into. Gently, you are wanting to take the first 4 bands up and over like that. Please make sure you're only getting the first 4 and then push them down. You are wanting to keep them in the correct order that they've been laid in. So when you push them down, be careful that you're keeping them in the right order. You can push these inside, these little leaves, whatever. I don't know why I call them, I suppose because I did the Christmas tree and they were leaves in the Christmas tree. I'm just thinking that they're leaves. So here we go, just the bottom 4 and push down. Bottom 4, push down. Push down. Now when you get to this side, you just, I went to turn it upside down, but it's not as easy. You do need that little channel to put your hook into. So keep it facing towards you. Push down, and that's it. Now we add our next layer, and this is going to be layer number 4. Now we want 16 layers, so I like to either jot down on a piece of paper or I use bands. I have a separate pile of bands with the 16, and as I do a layer, I take one from that pile first. So let's take the next 2, up and over, up and over, up and over. If in doubt, spread them out. So that was number 4. And as you can see, it's easier, push them all down, now that we've got rid of the frill that we were doing here. Lay them for row number 5. Now pause the video, and when you get to row 16, we're going to get back together again, because I've already done one here that I have laid my 16 onto. So get back to me, pause the video, get back to me when we're on number 16. if you're back with me now, let's take the bottom 2 and lift over. These ones here are 16. So the bottom 2, you keep pulling them over like you've been doing. I just didn't want this video to be 100 hours long and waste your time. Push everything down. Now we take the next 2, so you're only left with 2 on your loom. Okay. So you have 2 bands on your loom. Now what we're going to do is collect these loops up. I start here, and I tend to keep my finger, or thumb I should say, on the last 2 so that they don't get taken off the loom by mistake as we're stretching to get these other bands. So collect all these loops up on your hook like that. And there you can see that it's got the little frill on the bottom. Now what we're going to do is take 4 of the bands that we used to do her skirt, put 2 on your hook, just sort of lying around here, and then put 2 on the end of your hook like this. Take the 2 that we were just dangling and put them in the middle. Reclaim the end of your bands like that and hold on to the ones that were in the middle. Lift the 2 closest to you up, over and off and pull tight. That's a slip knot. Okay, somebody asked me how to do that the other day. Now what we're going to do is put those 4 bands onto the end of your hook, and we're going to slide these loops over onto those bands. Like so. Now the reason I used 2 tied together is because I want it to be able to have some room when I tie it, so that it's not all too tight for the spoon. Reclaim the end of those bands and take the 2 closest to you up, over and off, so that you're just left with the 2 loops. Okay, now push your hook through the 2 loops that you just went through like that. We're going to tie a knot any way you can. Let me get closer, because a lot of you have said you don't see what I'm doing when I do this. So you've got your hook through here. What I'm going to do is hook my hook these bands on like that, and I'm trying to do it so you can see what I'm doing. Pull them through there and up. I've still got this little eye here between them. I'm going to put that over there. Then I push that over and find those 2 little bands that I had there. So there's the 2 little bands. I'm trying to find these by pushing these over. So there they are. And I want to grab them. If it's difficult, if you can't do it with your fingers because it's too tight, use a hook or a toothpick or something like that. As you know, I'm useless at tying knots, but there we go. And these are the 2 that you want to hang on to. Pull it tight. Doesn't matter that you've got these excess loops, they actually go inside the skirt, so they won't matter. Let's grab a spoon and pop the dress in, just so that we can make sure that the loops are spread out evenly. And they are, so that's good. And we'll take that out. Now this is going to sit to one side until we're ready for it. Okay, but that is her standing skirt, and as you can see, it's got the little ruffles at the bottom. Lovely idea that Autumn Juliet thought of doing to make the skirts look prettier. I love it. We are in an offset configuration, and I'm going to be using the metallic white. I'm not going to use any more glitter. So I'm going to pop those away so I don't end up throwing them everywhere. First of all, I'm going to make her arms, and I'm going to keep those on a holding hook. Alright, so I'm going to take 2 bands and I'm going to place them on the pegs like this. This one's going to come down from here and here and here. I'm going to take a single band, loop it on itself, and I'm going to place that across there like that, and then I'm going to take another pair and put them across like that. Then I'm going to use flesh tone, a single band, wrap it once and twice, slide onto a pair, and I'm going to pop that on the end of her arm here. Dig down, grab this, and we loop up. Dig down, grab the 2 white bands, and we loop up. And this is to give her arm a bit of a puffier look to it than normal. Loop up and loop up, and then take 2 bands, slide your hook in, grab those 2 bands, and we take that off the loom like that. Let's do another one. Okay, on the 1, 2, 3, 4th peg up, add your first pair, your second pair, your third pair. We go across on the diagonal, 1 and 2, and another pair across from here. We need a crossover band, so a single band that you loop on itself, and put that across here. We'll do another finger and hand, single band, wrap it once and twice, slide onto a double band and reclaim the end, and that's going to just pop on the end here. Dig down and find the top 2 white bands and loop to the side. The next 2 loop up. Loop up, 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 cross to the side, see, and up. 2 bands to tie off with, poke your hook through, and drag those bands to the back side of the peg. Take the 2 closest to you, up, over. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not tying off. I'm telling you fibs. Don't tie off at all. Just leave them like that. Goodness gracious me. Getting ahead of myself, aren't I? We will put that on the holding hook until we're ready to put the arms on our little figure. I'm going to put that over there with my eyes. Alright, so let's get started with our little girl. I'm going to start by placing the bands for her hair. Double banding, arrow is facing towards you. If you don't have an arrow, it's the open part of the peg, and you will also be in the offset configuration. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Crafty Ladybug was the one that worked out how to do hair at the back of the head like this, and I love it. You should check her channel out. It's a lot of fun. She's got good stuff there. Easy stuff too as well. You know, you can make it without using a loom. So for those of you who don't have the right kind of loom, or don't have a loom, or have broken your loom, it's a good place to go. 2 single bands. We're going to put 1 single from here to here and 1 single from here to here. I'm also going to take a single band, place it over here. not doubled, not looped, just like that. I'm then going to take a flesh tone band, wrap it once and twice, and I'm using this as my end cap to just go here. Alright, now I'm going to dig down past that end cap and I'm going to start looping the back of my hair only to a certain level. Grab the top yellow and move it to the side. We'll loop these up and up. We stop here. Likewise, we loop this up and this up, but then we stop. But we make sure that we push things down because we're going to be putting our skin tone bands on here as well. Okay, so now we need our skin tone bands. Again, we're going to be double banding. We're going to start by laying them here, not that first set, not that first area of the pegs, but the second. Put another pair here. Two from the side to the side. Two to the other side. I'm going to take a single band and place it here over her face, and then I'm going to take a single band and drop it and pick it up again and twist it 3 times. Once, twice, 3 times, and that is going to go here for her eyes. I'm going to take 2 bands for her neck. The only reason I'm using 2 is because we already have this one here at the back. Okay, so we will continue on with some skin tone around her shoulders. Again, double banding. Push everything down. Oh, before I do that, sorry, let's do one little thing quickly. You're going to grab these bottom 2 skin tone bands and bring them up over the neck like that. Alright, now let's do our shoulders. Like this, and from the throat to the chest. We're going to do eyes. I'm going to thread my eyes on with my 2.75 crochet dude hook. If you don't have a hook that fits your beads down, you can use floss, you can use a metal threader, it doesn't matter. If you don't have beads, you can use bands. For each eye, you take a single band and you wrap it around your hook 3 or 4 times. That equals 1 band. So you would then slide that band on and slide that band on to a flesh tone. Place them over here like normal. Take the top part of that band and lift it over this peg here. Okay. Now we're also going to do some hair extensions. And what we're going to do is take a single yellow, wrap it once and twice, and we're going to slide onto a pair of yellow. And we're going to do this 6 times. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, and 6. Try and make it so that they're not overlapping each other. This is what I'm faffing around here doing, just so that they're straight, and pop the loops back on your hook. You're going to take the ones on your hook and place them next to the eye. Skip a loop and go down 1, and that goes against the jaw here. Let's do that again. A single, wrap once and twice, a pair and slide on. That's 1. This is 2. This is 3. is 4. This is 5. And this is 6. Turn your loom around. Again, we put the loops by the eye, skip a loop, grab these ones and put them by the jaw. Okay, push everything down. Alright, I'm using metallic white for her suit, double banding, and we come down 4 pair. That's 1, 2, 3 and 4. Same on the other side. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and in the middle we go down 4 as well. Oops. Now you have the option of making her have skin tone legs or white legs. I'm actually going to do white legs, so I'm just going to continue with my white bands, but if you chose to do skin tone, this is where you would change. I'm going to do a pair either side here, keep pushing them down, and then for my crossover bands take a single band and stretch them across these 3 pegs in the shape of a triangle like this. We're going to put the arms on. If you look at the arms, you've got one side that is lower than the other. The lowest side goes on the bottom, so place your hooks in and we'll place that here with the lowest side facing the bottom. Here again we've got the lowest side is here, so we will place that facing towards the feet, the bottom of the loom, like that. Okay, I'm going to do her feet. I'm going to do bare feet for her. If you choose to do shoes, that's up to you. 2 bands, wrap once and twice, slide onto 2 bands, reclaim the end. 2 bands, wrap once and twice. Take these 2 loops and move them up and over like that, and then slide on in the order that you put them on here. So first 2 go, then the wrapped bands go, and this is so we don't get them overlapping, then the other 2. Alright, reclaim the end of your bands, and that is our first little foot. And then let's do the other side. 2 bands, wrap once and twice, slide onto 2 bands and reclaim, 2 bands, wrap once and twice, take that loop, first set over and above, and then we slide onto 2 bands, move the first 2 over, then the wrapped bands, then the last 2. Reclaim the end, angle the foot, and it goes on this leg. So we've got arms, crossover bands, feet, hair, eyes. I think we're good. Let's put a little end cap here, and I think we're good to go. So take a single band, wrap once and twice, Let's dig down and dig down again. Now, before I loop this up, let me just put that back. I want to dig down, grab these two. I want the continuity to happen. So I'm going to grab these two and loop across, and then I'll put the trousers up and over. Okay, so let's do the same this side as well. Loop it over and then loop this up. Dig down and we loop up. Loop up to the arms. Like that. Now let's loop up the middle. Oopsie. I stop here at the chest. I like to do the arms before I do the chest to the throat. So I'm going to do that. And then I do the chest to the throat. That way I know I have locked my arms in and they're not going to fall off when I take her off the loom. Dig down, find those two skin tone bands and loop up. Now we've got a bit of fancy footwork happening here. Dig down and find the two top skin tone and loop to the side. Do this on either side, okay? And for the middle. Now we're going to take the hair extension off. Be careful you don't take the eye off at the same time. You're going to dig down and you need to find the two top skin tone bands. Now, it's quite difficult because you've got yellow bands underneath for the back of her hair. So dig down and find the two top yellow bands and loop them up. Then you put the hair back on, and to lock it into place, dig down and find the two yellow bands and loop up. Let's do the same this side. Move over. You're going to find the two skin tone bands. So if you go past the yellow, I dig down to the side here usually to see if I can find them. Have I got them? I think so. Yes. So there I have them. I'm going to put the hair back. It's a little bit trickier to do it without tilting the loom so I can see, but if I do that you won't be able to see. So grab the two bottom bands, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to release them a bit and loop up. Here we take these top two skin tone and loop up, and then the bottom yellow and loop up. Loop these to the side and these to the side, and then grab two yellow bands and we're going to tie her off. Make sure you go all the way down to the bottom and poke your hook through. I twist my hook so that the smooth side goes against the bands and doesn't snag anything. Reclaim the end of your bands, take the two closest to you, up, over and off, and pull tight into a slip knot. Let's take her off the loom. I use the back of a hook to help me. I desperately do not want broken bands at this stage. And I definitely like using it to ease bands where there's more than a pair on a peg. Take her off the loom and stretch her into shape. Now, I like, with her hair, I'm going to put my hook at the back here and just pull this into shape a bit, like that. Now what I like to do for this, I want to make her hair sit sort of like a messy bun like this. So I'm going to take a single band. Well, firstly, let's hide these tie-off bands. Let's do things in order, shall we? Wrap your hook around them and pull them behind some of these existing bands to get them out of the way. So we can pull them down and hide. Come on, you guys. Is the first sign of madness talking to your Rainbow Loom bands? Probably. Now I'm going to push my hook through, and I'm going to go through those tie-off bands and then push my hook through. Take another single band and slide all of these on like that and tie into a slip knot so that that sort of looks like a messy bun at the back of her hair. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'll do her halo before putting, well, we can put her skirt on, I guess. Let's put her skirt on. Grab a spoon and pop your skirt through it like this. Then you're going to grab her feet and stuff them in like this and wiggle her body into her little skirt till it's about waist height, and then pull the spoon gently out. And you do need a bit of brute force with this, it's quite tricky. The feet will appear at the bottom, and that's fine. That's where they should appear, really, isn't it? Pull her body out so that it's at the required height that you want for her. You might want her that far. I think that's probably a bit too far, so I'm going to pull her back a bit by pulling on her legs if I can. Come here. There we go. So I've pulled her so that she's about that high. I'm going to stuff her feet inside her skirt because that allows her to stand. Okay. The hook, the tie-off bands at the back here, you just push your hook up and pull them back. You can do it from the bottom of the skirt too. Might make it easier, like that. That's just to give you some slack so that when you're putting it on through the spoon, it's not problematic for you. So next we're going to make her bouquet of flowers for her hand, and I'm using the new Rainbow Loom bands. They have the pink on the outside and the white on the inside, and the blue on the outside and the white on the inside. I thought they would be quite pretty. So this is going to be our little bouquet of flowers. So what you're going to do, you're going to have 2 of the pink and 2 of the blue. Take your first pink and wrap it once and twice. Take a single green band, slide the pink band onto it, reclaim your green, hold the pink band, take the green over and pull tight into a slip knot. We're going to do that for all the coloured bands. Hold the pink, take the side of the green closest to you, up, over and off, and pull into a slip knot. Same with the blues. Wrap it once and twice, slide onto a green, reclaim your green, hold the blues so they're even, take the one closest to you of the green, up, over and off, and pull. And the last time, up, over and off, into a slip knot. Now take all 4 of these bands for your flowers, and what we're going to do is take a green band, wrap it around once, twice, 3 times, and we're going to slide that onto these flowers. So put the flowers on the end of your hook. I've got a very small hook, so it doesn't make it very easy. Here's your band, slide it onto your hook up to the top where the flowers are, okay, like that. If you feel one is a bit long, pull it so that they become even in size. We're going to do that one more time. Wrap it once, twice, 3 times. Put all the loops on your hook and slide that band over up to where the other one is slid over, like that, and that sort of makes it look like it's a bouquet. And you're going to actually put that through her hand just here. So again, put your hook through all of the bands, all the green bands on the hook, and then slide your skin tone bands over like that, so that she's holding them in her hand. Alright, so she's holding her bouquet of flowers. Now we need to do her veil. To do her veil, we're going to use the glitter bands. So let's start by doing an end cap. Take a single band, wrap it once and twice, and we're doing this in single bands. So slide that onto a single band and reclaim. I'm going to do that 9 times. So that was 1, this is 2, 3. Try not to get it twisted. I did there, so I'm going to just untwist it. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now with this, what we can do, take this off here, put your hook through the end cap, through these 3 little loops of your end cap, take one part of that loop of the band that we just finished with, slide your end cap on and reclaim. But this bit is what we're actually going to attach to our loom here. What we're going to do first though is lay our bands. Now I'm using single bands, and I'm going to have my loom in the offset configuration, so columns 1 and 3 are lower than column 2. The arrow is facing toward me, and if you don't have an arrow, it's the open part of the peg facing toward you, and we're single banding, not double banding. And we're going to lay bands all the way to the bottom of the loom. We're going to put crossover bands, which again are single bands in the shape of triangles, over the 3 columns. And we're also going to put end caps on these 3. Single band, wrap once and twice. once and twice. Once and twice. Now I'm going to put this through there like that, so that as I link it onto here it's facing the right way. Okay, let's loop this up, dig down past the end cap, grab the bottom band, it's only a single, and we're going to loop all of these up. Make sure you can see your little teardrop shape forming in all of your bands, because then you know it's a visual confirmation that you've actually looped something in. If I'm going too fast for you, please pause the video. It's not going to offend me. You can pause me, you can rewind me, you can do all of these things to make me go at the speed that you require. That's important, okay? So I don't want to hear people say, oh, you're going too fast. I'm going at my speed. You go at your speed. That's important. Let's take 2 glitter bands to tie off with. So poke your hook down the middle here and pull up and round to the top here. Now it's going to be fun and games to try and tie off. I'm going to let go of my left hand here, and what I want to do is still include those, but I'm going to flip that forward like that, and then reclaim my bands and take the 2 closest to me up, over and off, and pull tight like that. And then I'm going to take this off the loom. So this is going to be our little veil. Going to even up the end caps on the end here so that they're at least even. I'm not a huge fan of single banding, I have to admit. I find that the results look flimsy, but I guess if you're doing a veil which is supposed to be flimsy and see-through and lacy, it's probably the best way to do it. Okay, so now we have to attach her veil to her head. It would be nice if it would attach there, wouldn't it? And we also need to attach her, keep her hair. Tell her to keep her hair on. These 2 bands are going to go on the inside. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the yellow band for her hair, and I'm going to thread, sorry, telling you fibs. I'm going to go through this band here where we did the tie off, okay, and grab that yellow band. I'm going to pull that through so that it is attaching. I'm going to splay these bands either side of her head, and I want the yellow band to be in the middle because I want that to attach at the front of her head. Okay. It's going to be a little tricky. side bits first. Maybe that will make it easier if I get those out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. I want to get my hook through some of these side bits here and pull that bit back, and I'm going to wrap it around the headpiece. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Again, I need to put my hook through some of the bands, pull it through, and I want it to sort of still have that bit in the middle there, okay? And again, I'm going to put it around the headpiece. So the headpiece is being kept in place by those two bands. And then what we need to do, at the moment it looks like it's going to come over and cover her face, and I don't want that. I want to find that. There's that yellow band there. Hello, yellow band. Push your hook under here. You're going under. Oh, if I could just get my fingers working, it would be nice. Let's hold these up. We're pushing our hook through the middle here. Grab the yellow band. And we're pulling the. We are going to pull the yellow band back. So push your hook through, grab the yellow band, and we're pulling the yellow band back. Okay. Now, hold the yellow band. We're going to go under this portion of her hair here. Grab the yellow band that tied off with and pull it up. And that is then going to get splayed out and go over the bit that's going on top of her head. Now this we need to secure on her head, and we're going to have to use some glitter bands. I know you think I'm mad. Trying to get it all centered. There we go. So I'm going to be going through two pieces here like that and attaching them to the yellow. So I'm going to go through the yellow here and then through the two pieces that I want of her headdress and pull a glitter band back through with me. Reclaim the end, pull it through and tighten it off into a slip knot. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Approximate where I did it on this side. So I did it here, so I want to do it here. So grab through, I went through the yellow band and then I went through the glitter bands. I pulled the glitter band back through with me, reclaimed the end and tied off. Then to tie it off with these, what we're going to do is splay this open and pop it through the veil and try and keep it as close to that joining point as you can, and then on the other side as well. We're sort of making her more of a tiara-y headdress thing than a garland, but that's okay. So there's the puffy hair under here, and there's her veil. Splay that out a bit like that, and here we have her tiara, and there we have our standing bride. I really hope you enjoy making her. Take care. Bye bye.